Radio has changed our lives and possibly saved our lives. Radio has changed our lives and possibly saved our lives. Radio has changed our lives and possibly saved our lives. Oh yeah! I want to tell you about Dead City Radio, man! In the castle! Supertown! Yeah! A world of magic lands in the chemical blues! A world where extends the unknown and wide as the zero! Yes, rugged sounds of submarine!
Hey, what's going on, guys? As you can see, we are no longer in the studio.
Because somebody really fucked up. There it is, Marco.
Yes, and since we're not in the studio and not podcasting this whole thing, we have had to sit back a little bit and think about what we were going to say and how to say it. But there really is no other way to say it other than we got royally fucked today. When we came into the studio, we were told that we weren't able to sign up for 3 hours because it's a 2-hour limit at the studio.
Which is horseshit.
And we were told that today was fine. Today was 100%. We were still able to have a 3-hour show this next week. We had to be back down to 2 hours, which we had absolutely no problem with, because that would mean we had time to change the format back to what it was and to basically, cut the show out an hour. And it gave us, and as we announced today on the show, next week we have Greg Tripp coming in the studio. We have Tommy Dreamer coming in the studio.
We're talking about a very huge benefit for the Red Cross is going to be announced next week on the show.
So these are all things that we're supposed to do next week, and now we're kind of stuck in a rock and a hard place as to exactly how we are going to pull it off now, with being told that we're only going to be doing 3 hours next week. Now the explanation as to why we had to cut the show short. When we came into the studio today, we were told that there was a guy that never showed up for his 10 o'clock spot. And so we got a call today from a soccer player that it was going to be from this guy who just never showed up for his designated time slot in the radio studio. So instead of him not showing up, he showed up 2.5 hours late and basically walked into the studio while we were recording our broadcast and pulled Jimmy out of the studio and said that he was signed in for 1 o'clock, which in fact he was not. He was signed in for 10 o'clock. So
lo and behold, unfortunately, everybody this week, whoever is viewing with us right now, we've got 8 viewers.
If you're viewing, just tell us who you are so we can say hello to you.
Unfortunately, we have no show this week. We don't have anything for the podcast,
and we have
no Ustream except for what you're seeing right now.
When I saved the video to the when I tried to save the video, the file of the video didn't save, and I didn't realize it until now. So, for those who watched the broadcast today, we do thank you very much. That was all that was. That's all be able to hear or see the show were those that had watched it live.
This we're going to try and repost so that way everybody can know what's going on. As you would know that right now, myself, Lynn, Marco, and Jimmy are not happy at all. So we will be contacting Connecticut School of Broadcasting on Monday morning to actually see what we can do about getting all this situated, because this is complete bullshit. Here we are doing what we can from my dining room.
So, in regards to what happened today, this guy showed up 2.5 hours late, came into the studio, and hello Dale, came into the studio and waited until after we had shut everything down.
Johnny said hello too.
And Johnny, hello Johnny, and
I'll say hi to Shannon because Shannon's
Shannon's here, so
she's watching live.
there was her hand. It's vaguely in the corner of the screen there. So after we had shut down the Ustream, after we had closed down all the stuff for the show, is when the guy finally told us, well, I'm only being here for 10 minutes to do this interview, that he can come back on and do your show, after he showed up 2.5 hours late and basically booted us out of the studio. So there was a lot of stuff today that we weren't able to get to. The top 15, which is usually the top 10, we were not able to get to.
We also weren't allowed to. We weren't able to close out how we normally like. That we also have always a decent selection of music for everybody.
And
so
we weren't able to do that. And usually we thank the Connecticut School of Broadcasting for giving us the studio time, in which
today
I do still thank them for giving us studio time.
Yeah, but
but I do not. I do not thank them at all for how they went about letting us know what happened. We didn't find out till today that we couldn't have 2 hours anymore, which is understandable if you're only allotted 2 hours unless you have a approval from the school to do 3, which I had no issue with. What I had the issue with is the fact that they did not tell us until today. They didn't
just
contact
walked into
us.
the studio and said, "Guess what? You got to leave now."
Yeah, so we were not able to complete the show. So we will do it now as we usually do on the show itself, and that is from myself, from Rev Grimm. Marco and Jimmy are not here, so from them as well, we do thank you for watching the show today and being loyal followers and listeners to the show.
It's actually 10 viewers.
Yeah, we have 10 viewers on the Ustream, which is really awesome. And again, we have some new. Well, now we have 9. Damn.
Damn it.
If you are watching, if you're watching, please say who you are so I know who to thank for watching this particular announcement. But you can follow us on Twitter at PBR_radio. You can follow me on Twitter at MonsterMan610. You can follow Alan on Twitter at at Alan Marls.
Yes, I believe so.
You can also find us on Facebook, facebook.com. Just type in Powerbomb Radio in the search bar. You can add yourself to our page. You can also our website, which is powerbombradio.webs.com. Also Hugh Creighton 08057 at .podomatic.com for the previous episodes.
I'd like to also say we got to thank once again our winner today for our
Krista.
Ticket giveaway. Unfortunately, we still had another hour, so we were not able to give away the other pair.
So what we
are working on furiously to figure out what we can do here.
So what we're going to do, we're going to try to either find a way to do the contest via Facebook, either via a trivia question or something like that, just to try and get this other pair of tickets out the door. That will be announced shortly.
Please keep an eye on your Facebooks.
Yeah, Facebooks and stuff like that.
And that's where we'll go with this.
But again, we do apologize greatly for the issue today of the show being cut short by an hour. We do thank you again, listeners, for checking us out today and every week. It's very humbling to know that we have loyal listeners and followers who are as aggravated and pissed off as we are about the events of today. So again, thank you very much for listening and watching this announcement, and we will see you guys next Saturday. And we are going to raise enough hell, whereas our show next week will be 3 hours, being that we were not given proper notice as to what was going on, being we have a really big show next week and we can't afford to lose the 3rd hour of the show next week. So again, thank you guys very much for listening. On behalf of myself, Rev Grimm, Jimmy Scola, and Marco Serino, we say thank you very much.
You guys are out there. We will try and post this, so keep an eye out.
And again, thank you very much, and we'll see you next Saturday. Bye-bye.
Peace.